Hello and good evening to all our Christian viewers. A very Merry Christmas. Salam Perpaduan. You're watching News at 10. I'm Jessica Lee. Our top stories for tonight. Search and rescue operation for Batangkali landslide officially ends. Disaster-affected entrepreneurs can apply for loan deferment. The search and rescue or SAR operation for the victims of the landslide tragedy at the Father's Organic Farm campsite in Batangkali, which started on the 16th of December, officially ended at noon today. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Akrosani Abdullah Sani said the decision was made after the police confirmed that there were no more missing victims.
Kita telah merumuskan bahawa jumlah mangsa yang hilang dan juga meninggal dunia seramai 31 orang. 31 orang. Jadi 31 orang yang terkorban dicampur dengan 61 yang selamat pada hari pertama, menjadikan jumlah mereka yang terlibat seramai 92 orang. Manakala urusan-urusan teknikal akan diteruskan oleh jabatan-jabatan seperti JKR, JUPM, Jabatan Sains dan juga Jabatan Mineral dan juga Geoscience dan juga pihak Majlis Daerah Hulu Selangor bagi tujuan untuk urusan-urusan teknikal mengenai dengan insiden tanah runtuh ini.
The body of the last victim, believed to be a boy aged between 7 and 12, was found at 4:53 p.m. on the 9th day of the SAR operation yesterday. Tan Sri Akrosani had expressed the hope that this operation will become a template for future SAR operations. He also expressed his appreciation to all the agencies involved in the SAR operation. Meanwhile, the body of the last victim, an 11-year-old boy, has been claimed by family members. They were seen arriving at the Sungai Buloh Hospital at around 11 a.m. and left about an hour later. The body of Eng Xiao Chi was found inside a sleeping bag at the depth of 1.5 meters at 4:53 p.m. yesterday. The landslide also took the lives of the boy's father, identified as Gary Eng, and his sister. Now, the government today handed over donations totaling 80,000 ringgit to families of 8 victims killed in the Batangkali landslide in Selangor. The donations to 2 families were presented by the Prime Minister's Senior Political Secretary, Datuk Sri Samsul Iskandar Muhammad Akin, in Kampung Macha Baru, Alor Gajah. One of the recipients is Lai Hua Kiong, 54, who lost 4 members of his family in the tragedy, comprising son Lai Chi Sam, daughter-in-law Lai Si Tin, and 2 grandchildren. The other recipient is Tai Sing Fui, 63, who also lost 4 family members, son Tai Chang Lin, daughter-in-law Yu Siu Pei, and 2 grandchildren.
Tetapi kita harapkan sedikit sumbangan daripada Perdana Menteri dan juga kerajaan dapat meringankan beban terutamanya kesedihan mereka yang terpaksa ditanggung oleh keluarga di atas pemergian yang begini ya. Satu perkara yang tentunya amat menyedihkan. Yang keduanya, Yang Amat Perdana Menteri juga menyampaikan rasa terima kasih yang begitu mendalam kepada seluruh pasukan SAR ataupun Search and Rescue, pasukan mencari dan menyelamat yang telah pun bertungkus lumus sehingga semalam.
Also present were State Unity, Information, Human Resource and Consumer Affairs Committee Chairman Ngui Hee Sem and National Disaster Management Agency or NADMA Deputy Director General Dato Khairul Sharil Idris. The Social Security Organisation SOCSO will also make payments to the next of kin of the victims, taking into account the needs of the parties involved. Entrepreneurs affected by disasters nationwide can apply for loan deferment for up to 6 months for payments such as Tekun Nasional and Amanah Ikhtiar Malaysia. Minister of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives Iwan Benedict said the deferment of agency loans under his ministry is an important step to help entrepreneurs revive their affected businesses.
Di semua tempat di seluruh negara, kalau peminjam, contohnya AIM peminjam Tekun, kalau dia terkesan dengan bencana, kita memang memperuntukkan penangguhan pembayaran untuk satu tempoh tertentu, bukan hanya di Kelantan Terengganu tapi di seluruh negara yang memang terkesan dengan bencana.
Met at the ministry's Christmas Open Day in Penampang, Iwan said his ministry would soon set up a disaster fund for affected cooperatives through the Cooperative Commission to assist entrepreneurs. Now, the high tide phenomenon is expected to occur again in Sandakan tonight and tomorrow night, following the continuous rain warning until tomorrow by the Meteorological Department. Now, in view of that, Sandakan Police Chief ACP Abdul Fuad Abdul Malik advised residents in the coastal areas to vacate their homes before 6 p.m. today as a precaution. About 100 houses in Kampong Forest were damaged due to the high tide phenomenon that occurred at about 10 p.m. yesterday, affecting more than 300 residents, most of whom were evacuated to the PPS at SK Sungai Anip 2. Abdul Fuad was grateful that there was no report of any casualty during the incident, but advised residents in high-risk areas to obey the orders issued by the security personnel, especially for them to evacuate. He said besides Kampong Forest, the high tide also affected Kampong Tinusa 2 near Sandakan, but there was no damage to houses. The floods that hit Terengganu did not affect the supply of fresh fish, especially in the state. Malaysian Fisheries Development Board, or LKIM Director General Yusof Othman said there was a drop in fish landings in the East Coast states, while the situation in the West Coast was normal. According to him, if there is a shortage of fish, LKIM will release a stock of fresh frozen fish or Q fish to stabilize the supply.
Untuk pengguna ikan, khususnya rakyat negara kita, tak perlu lagi bimbang kepada bekalan ikan negara, khususnya musim tengkujuh. Dan saya tengok pengeluaran di pantai barat pun tak ada isu, tak ada terjejas. Cuma sedikit pengurangan di pendaratan di area pantai timur.
He was met after presenting donations to fishermen in Setia district who were affected by the floods. A total of 295 affected fishermen received 500 ringgit each, as well as essential goods to ease their burden. Last year alone, LKIM has channeled assistance amounting to 1.1 million ringgit under the program to 1,337 beneficiaries. 32 hybrid grouper farmers in Laguna Semerak, Pasir Putih suffered losses of more than 1 million ringgit when their fish species died over the last 4 days due to flood waters overflowing into the lagoon. Elaborating further on the matter, Ikan Laguna Semerak Breeders Association Chairman Mustafa Bakar said the incident was believed to have occurred when rainwater overflowed excessively into the lagoon area. He said Laguna Semerak has 2,100 fish cages.
Petenuknya dia pakat masuk ikan kapu. Jadi kapu handbrake ni pasal dia cukup-cukup memuaskan lah. Daripada 30 lebih harga sekarang lah ni dah 60 sekilo. Jadi Itu yang jadi ke tahun ni banyak ke kapu lah kakak okey. Jadi kapu banyak mati ni. Kerugian anggaran semua peternak tu 1 juta lebih lah.
Mustafa further noted that fish that was breeding in the area was supposed to be marketed next February in conjunction with the Chinese New Year celebrations. Coming up, MCMTC calls for a single agency to handle foreign worker employment process. Welcome back. The Malaysian Consortium of Mid-Tier Companies, or MCMTC, stands together with the Federation of Malaysian Manufacturers, or FMM, calling for a single agency to handle the entire foreign worker employment process to ensure clarity, transparency and greater efficiency. Now, MCMTC President Calum Chen said Malaysia has a small population and a lot of the industries are still labour-intensive and dependent on foreign labour. Elaborating further through a statement release, Chen said, as of now, applying for and getting foreign manpower requires a lot of time, effort and costs to deal with multiple agencies such as the Ministry of Human Resources, MOHR, Ministry of Home Affairs, MOHA, Jabatan Tenaga under MOHR, and for those in manufacturing via the Ministry of International Trade and Industry, or MITI. The Unity Government had on the 21st of December 2022 announced that the one-channel system, or OCS, to recruit domestic workers or domestic helpers or maids is under MOHR, and the one-stop centre, OSC, for the recruitment of foreign workers is under MOHA. FMM recently called on the government to review the decision to split the role of foreign worker management between MOHA and MOHR. It said the entire processing of labour demand must be handled by MOHR, while MOHA should focus on security issues, issuance of the relevant visas and border control measures as done in other countries that have a similar dependence on foreign workers to complement the country's manpower requirements. Now, a restaurant in Pandan Indah has been ordered to close for 14 days after a video clip showing a rat feeding on fried chicken inside a food warmer display at the premise went viral on social media. An enforcement team from the Food Safety and Quality Division of the Selangor Health Department, who conducted checks at the premise, also found that the restaurant's cleanliness level was unsatisfactory. In a statement today, Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said the restaurant was ordered to close for 14 days under Section 11 of the Food Act 1983. The restaurant was also slapped with 6 compound notices under the Food Hygiene Regulations 2009 over numerous food safety and hygiene-related violations. The Health DG further noted that the ministry has urged the public, especially food business owners and food handlers, to exercise joint responsibility in ensuring food safety to prevent foodborne illnesses. Now, Christmas celebrations this year have been more lively as churches began filling up with their congregations and visitors from early morning to commemorate the birth of Christ and join in the festivities. Now, checks by RTM at the Church of Our Lady of Fatima in Kuala Lumpur found that churchgoers dressed up for the occasion, with the majority of them wearing face masks voluntarily to stave off any possible COVID-19 infection while at church. Christmas celebrations are more festive this year as they could only celebrate Christmas online during the pandemic due to the movement control order. But this time, the church held prayers this morning for Christmas.
We all had to be at home and watch online masses, but this time around, we are happy to be in church.
It's a nice feeling when we all come back to church to celebrate the birth of Christ. It's a nice feeling, and We are so blessed to come back this year.
The church was filled not only by devotees but also foreign visitors who joined in prayers together to celebrate Christmas.
It's a community celebration kan, perayaan community. Jadi kita satu sama lain kita merayakan Christmas sebagai satu keluarga lah. Jadi kita lah bersalam-salam, makan-makan bersama. Memang begitu happy lah.
Despite all the festivity, all the joys and all the bright lights, we also remember our fellow Malaysians who are going through a challenging time. Everyone who is facing this hardship, the least we could do is lift up a prayer for them. And after that, after lifting up the prayer, lift up in many ways. There are many initiatives going on.
Coming up in sport, Harimau Malaya proud for win in Hanoi to top Group B. Malaysia whipped Laos 5-0 last night to register their second consecutive win in a AFF Cup Group B match at the National Stadium in Bukit Jalil and moved to the top of the group.
There's a white shirt there.
The first half saw Kim Pangon's boys struggling to find their rhythm despite playing on home turf, and it took the home side 29 minutes to break through a rather weak Laos defence when naturalised player Sergio Aguero guided in a low cross from Muhammad Nur Hakim Hassan. The Pangon brought in a number of substitutes in the second half, and their introductions seem to have injected new blood into the team. Sensational striker Muhammad Faisal Halim continued his lethal form by striking twice in the second half, both via headers, while substitutes Muhammad Hakimi Azim Rosli and Stuart Wilkin added one each to complete the rout. In the match that was watched by nearly 30,000 fans, it was quite clear that head coach Pangon wanted to rest some of the first-choice players for the crucial match against Vietnam on Tuesday. Now, Malaysia had edged Myanmar 1-0 in their opening Group B match in Yangon on Wednesday. Pangon listed only 3 first-choice players, namely Shahrul Nazim Zulpaka, Muhammad Faisal and skipper Muhammad Safawi Rasid for the match, since Laos are not seen as a formidable opponent.
Power in that shot. It's Rowley, Wilkin. Lee Tuck.
Now, after 2 straight wins, Malaysia wants to hang on to its current status as Group B leaders in the ASEAN Football Federation Cup, or AFF Cup 2022, by defeating next opponent Vietnam in their match in Hanoi on Tuesday. National winger Muhammad Faisal Abdul Halim said a positive result against the Golden Star Warriors at the Maidin National Stadium would boost Harimau Malaya's chances of qualifying for the semi-finals after bagging the full 6 points from 2 games so far. He said the team will work hard towards that purpose, with defeat not an option. Malaysia whipped Laos 5-0 at the National Stadium in Bukit Jalil to secure their second straight win in the tournament, moving them to the top of the group. Muhammad Faisal, who will join Selangor FC in the new Super League season, scored 2 second-half headers to add to his total of 3 goals in the AFF Cup. Muhammad Faisal and Philippine striker Kenshiro Daniels now lead the scoring charts, as they have scored 3 goals each after 2 matches. Meanwhile, team captain Muhammad Safawi Rasid, who also shone with 2 assists yesterday, said Malaysia are ready to face the challenge of Vietnam, ranked 96th in the world. Although Vietnam are ranked higher than Malaysia, currently at 145th place, Muhammad Safawi, who plays for Johor Darul Takzim or JDT, does not see this as an obstacle for the national team to pull off a surprise. And that's it from us. In our top story, search and rescue operation for Batangkali landslide officially ends. Before we go, we like to once again wish all our Christian viewers a blessed Christmas, and may this Christmas holidays fill your home with love, happiness and prosperity. Join us again tomorrow at 12:30 in the afternoon. I'm Jessica Lee. Thanks for watching.